Sleep is a big one. We're always talking about sleep.
We always are. If you've been dreaming of a better sleep, like we just had a little rest right there, you're in the right place. This morning, Bryce Wylde, co-founder of the DNA Company, joins us to discuss the science behind sleep. We're obsessed with it and offer easy solutions for a restful night.
How do we get a restful night, Bryce?
Well, I'm going to tell you, but first I'm going to get you to blow into a breathalyzer. And as you do that, I'll tell you what, hopefully we see a 0 this morning on Tim.
Is this from upper management?
Go ahead, blow. It says blow. So, you know, sleeplessness, in fact, after 17 hours of lack of sleep, you have the equivalent of half of the, you can stop now. You're going to, right after those push-ups, you're going to die. So half of the level of acceptable alcohol volume. So it's calculating. Tim, I really hope we get zeros here.
I was going to say,
so,
oh man, the pressure's on.
Let me repeat this.
Oh, yeah!
Sober on TV.
Timmy's still employed.
Following CRTC guidelines.
Yeah, baby. Full of another day.
Lack of sleep is rocking us. So as a society, 1 in 4 Canadians across the board have disease because of a lack of sleep. So as I was saying, 17 hours sleepless, it's the equivalent of being at the half limit of alcohol volume. 24 hours is the equivalent of past the legal limit of alcohol volume. So here's the simple science of sleep, okay? Sleep is not the hours you clock on the pillow. Okay, those 8 hours, yes, it matters. It's the depth of sleep that you get. So we've heard of REM, that's the lightest sleep. The deepest sleep is actually stage 3 and 4. Right now, we're in gamma and beta. Our brains are fired up, we're having conversation. When you get into sleep, alpha, theta, delta. Those are really important. So hold that thought for a moment, alpha, okay? Second thing about sleep that we're doing, you've heard of lymph? You guys ever heard of lymph?
Yeah.
We're doing the push-ups there. That was squeezing lymph out of your body and detoxifying. They don't work, they're passive. So our brains, they don't have lymph. And we eat and we breathe and our brains develop toxins during the day, just from life. Let me pour you a 6-hour sleep here, okay? Those are toxins that build up in the brain, all right? And the glymphatic system only works at night in the right sleep hygiene. We'll talk about that. Let me add a couple of hours to your sleep, and that's maybe 7 hours, and maybe you're getting into 8 hours now.
9.
And what happens? You clear your brain of all the toxins that build up. So the brain fog, you know, the sleeplessness that contributes to lack of energy, metabolism, it all starts here. It's the main organ that controls everything else.
Can I ask napping? Does napping help?
Napping counts. Don't make it more than a trucker's nap. So about 10 to 15 minutes. Otherwise, guess what happens? Back to sleep cycles.
10 to 15 minutes?
Tops.
Cat nap.
Otherwise, guess what happens?
But then, so 10 to 15 minutes is when you're sleeping, though. Because sometimes it might take 10 to 15 minutes.
So nap no more than 10 to 15 minutes because you don't want to pass into theta or delta. You're going to ruin a whole sleep cycle for the night. The average math is it takes the person 60 to 90 minutes to get into the depth of sleep you need, and we need about 4 to 5 of those cycles. Back to the cowboy math. That's the 7 to 8 hours we hear about all the time. But it's the depth. You have to get into the depth.
Steve was going to be very unhappy about this news because he takes 2 large naps every day.
Not good. That's sleep disruption. So why am I holding an elastic band? We hear a lot about resilience and stress, right? So the body's used to getting stressed, and this is a stressed elastic. And then you come out of stress. This is sympathetic, fight or flight. Right?
Yeah.
That's relaxed parasympathetic rest or digest. So we're constantly back and forth between that, okay? There is a state in the brain, this is why we talk about meditation or mindfulness and exercise. Getting into parasympathetic state and how quickly you can do that is the name of the game to manage stress. Sleep helps us to do it. Caffeine puts us into sympathetic. I love coffee. Yeah. Well, I know I love it, but it's no coffee after 11 a.m.
Except decaf.
Decaf's fine. Decaf, still 14% caffeine in there, by the way. So there's an alternative to coffee or caffeine. All right, and you can use it with caffeine. It's called theanine. Now back to the alpha. Alpha is like Buddha in a bottle. It's Zen. You're meditating. You're relaxed, focused, alert, concentration, better sleep. Alpha, you can induce this with an amino acid. Here's the thing, pay attention. So in the world of supplements, still buyer beware. There's a lot of theanine out there. There are manufacturers that make it, doesn't really work. You have to look on the bottle. There's dozens and dozens of brands for sun theanine. That's an ingredient you can find in any brand that's available. Sun theanine. That's the stuff that works. Hundreds of human clinical trials to shift the brain, 200 milligrams twice a day, into alpha, relaxed, bouncing back into that state of relaxed, focused, alert, concentration, better sleep. Now, what's robbing us of sleep? Snoring. Do you snore? You guys snore? Do you
I don't
snore?
think I
I
snore.
don't think, like, I don't know. My wife
do.
does it, like, badly.
Well, no, mildly, but here's the deal. When you snore, it's like having mild apnea, and we know how bad apnea is when you're. It's a low oxygen. What happens with low oxygen? You're filling this cup up with more toxins. Your glymphatics can't work. So I have a nasal septal defect.
Glymphatics.
Gee,
Glymphatics.
glial cells are non-thinking cells, and they sweep up the mess from the day. We have to get them working better. They work better in the proper sleep hygiene. So your thermostat's got to be 68 degrees or lower. I like mine at 65. My wife kills me.
Okay.
But it's cold. It's got to be cold. No caffeine after 11. If you have snoring like I do, nasal septal defect, strips, a mouth guard. Pillow. One of the floor directors, Noah, came up. He said, I've got this pillow. And so do I. You put your arms around it, you know.
Oh, really?
And this thing, so not for everybody.
Yeah.
You got to find what works for you.
It's so funny. We spend so much time sleeping, but then we have uncomfortable pillows. It is kind of weird. Why we don't spend money on
What do we have
Well, you got to make sure the mattress is good, the pillows good. You got to be comfortable. It's part of
these
sleep
are
hygiene.
wonderful.
Wearing these at night blocks the blue light. So blue blockers is what you're wearing, and this is obviously blocking it. So you want your room cool, you want a dark environment, you want it comfortable, and ultimately a white noise maker, for example. You have the sleep hygiene in order to get the glymphatics working better, and you got to stay in that deep sleep.
He's fallen asleep.
He's already
standing
out.
up.
Tim's out. It was all the
Timmy.
push-ups.
Night. Thank you, Bryce. You're amazing as always. Find more information on Bryce Wylde by going to @WyldeOnHealth. We're wild about all your tips. WyldeOnHealth.com. He's sleepwalking. Okay, Timmy. Night. We'll be back with more BT right after this.
Am I running into a camera?
Timmy, we're not too sure.